What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production.
Yo, it's Bry-Fy coming live through your Wi-Fi. One-man show, but I'm feeling like a sci-fi. Comic books, video games, catching them all. Pokemon cards stacked, yeah, I'm ready to brawl. From Marvel to DC, I break it all down. Nifty nerd news, got the geeky rundown. Pop culture hits, movies and shows. I stay in the know while the fandom grows. So plug in, tune up, press play, let's ride. This is the Bry-Fy, baby, welcome to the vibe.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy, your comics guy, and yeah, it's been a little bit since the last episode. I took like another week off, I think. It feels like it's been forever. And then I was going to release an episode earlier this week, but then I decided to hold off because I remembered that the Nintendo Direct was going to be today. It's September 12th, or Friday, September 12th. So I wanted to wait so I could watch that, see if there's going to be anything I was excited about to talk for the podcast. And of course, there was. So we are going to talk about that today, which I'm really excited for. But before we get into that, let's just get into the Nifty Nerd News. All right, guys, up first in the Nifty Nerd News. About 8 days ago, so it's not really recent news, but it was announced, well, it's been previously announced that one of my favorite television shows, Scrubs, is going to have a reboot. And it was great because a lot of the original cast was coming back, but not all of them were at the time announced. So we didn't know if everyone was coming back or not. But 8 days ago, they announced that John C. McGinley is coming back as the fan favorite Dr. Cox, which I'm really excited for. His character, you hate him, then love him, and then just you fight tooth and nail for him. He starts off as like a really great foil for the main character JD, then an amazing mentor and, dare I say, friend. And by the end of the show, and so I'm really excited, man. You know, Scrubs has been, and I think kind of always will be, one of my favorite television shows. I always love going back to rewatch it from the beginning all the way up till the quote unquote my final season, which was season 8, not season 9. We don't ever talk about no. Season 9 was kind of like they tried to do a reboot of the show, or I guess you want to call it a soft reboot of the show, and it doesn't really land very well. They have some of the main cast, and then they tried to, present a new main cast, and even, what's his name? James Franco's brother, David Franco. And it just, I feel like the characters could have worked, but the writing didn't work for the characters. I don't know. And maybe that could be, I believe the original showrunner, Bill Lawrence, wasn't a part of that season. I couldn't write for it. But Bill Lawrence is back for this reboot of Scrubs, which I'm really excited for. I remember, I haven't listened to it very much here recently, but I used to watch the I say JD and Turk, Zach Braff and Donald Faison's podcast, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. And, they've had Bill on plenty of times on that show. He's a really funny dude. Really interesting to listen to them all chat, because you can tell they're all really good friends, like family. And they talk about potentially rebooting the show, but they never really said anything until, here, like I think it was earlier this year where it came out. So I'm just like super excited, super stoked. It's awesome to see another really favorite character say yes to the reboot. I'm excited. I can't think of, I don't think that's everybody. I know Zach, Donald. I don't know if Sarah Chalk has said anything yet. Oh no, what is Turk's wife's actress's name? I feel so bad. Carla. What is Carla's real name? Oh, I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys. But so I don't know if any of all of them have said that they will come back, and if any other characters But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm super stoked, super excited for that. Speaking of things coming back, comic book writer Brian K. Vaughan, in a Reddit post talking about one of his new graphic novels that just came out called Spectators, did give us an update on his comic book sci-fi fantasy space opera saga, which has been and still is like my favorite comic book that is currently released but goes on hiatus like every 6 months, and just is upsetting when it's on hiatus. But they do it to keep the art and story like crisp, they like, so that way, there's no fall off, there's no lag or anything. You just have to wait forever for the next set of issues. He alludes to they're in the final third, man. Like, this is the Revenge of the Sith. Like, this is the Return of the Jedi. So like, this is the final third, man. We're in the final countdown. And I was looking at it, man. I was like, damn, like, has it really been that many issues? Because they say they're going to wrap things up with issue 108. Like, that's the plan as far as the story goes. And I looked through my comic books recently, and they're at issue 71, man. So yeah, we're coming up. We're in the final third, so it's pretty crazy, man. And like, it's nice because, hey, there's still like over 30 issues or 30 issues worth of story to tell, but at the same time, now there's a timeline. Like, now there is going to be an end to this story, which it kind of, I mean, there has to be an end to the story, right? Like, what's going to happen to the family? What's going to happen with the war? Will the war always continue, or will Hazel be the catalyst that helps stop it? Like, who knows? But excited, sad, but anxious and happy. And there's a lot of feelings, and Saga gives you a lot of feelings. And so I just can't wait to start reading more. Moving on, though, to the next bit of Nifty Nerd News. It's happened again, guys. Up in Maryland, a group of young men have decided to resort to thieving Pokemon cards, man. Like, they went, I don't know if it was a couple of shops or just one shop, but they have stolen $25,000 worth of Pokemon product. Or if you're trying to sell to a store, roughly $9,000 in like 3 booster packs, because that's the best that they can do at this time. The market's pretty tough. But all jokes aside, yeah, like 25 grand worth of Pokemon cards. And I don't know if it's sealed product. If it was sealed product, it's probably like 3 Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. If not, then it could be like 5 PSA 10 Bubble Mews. Who knows? No. Those are jokes, people. You gotta stay with me. You gotta know what's going on in the card world. They're really expensive things. Like a Prismatic Evolutions ETB, I still think goes for like $250, maybe close to $300. It's ridiculous, but it just sucks, man. It sucks that this is where we're at with the market. Like this is where people are going and resorting to, is stealing, because either they feel like they just can't get product, so they're just knocking over whatever they can and taking what they can. Probably, I would say it's easier to rob a Walmart, but it's not, because you can't even get product at Walmart. I'm in a Pokemon group that tells us whenever the restock is happening. There are people who work at Walmart that are part of this group who also like to buy cards, and they, keep an eye out. So like, we're always like, we know the days that they show up, that it's either like a Wednesday or Thursday, and then we're like basically just like spawn camping the place until they drop product. But even then, so many people show up, and like, I was at work this week, so I couldn't make it in time to pick up product. So it's still that ridiculous. You can't even go to thieving at Walmart. You have to go to the brick and mortar stores. But like, no, don't do that. Like that. I mean, that's the overall story, right? Don't go steal things, but it's not worth it. But if you try it at Walmart, it's not going to work, because there's too many people just spawn camping Walmart and just ganking anything that shows up. But it's just crazy, man. And like, maybe they're doing it because 25 grand, if you could flip that, that's money, even if you do it for a little bit less, like, that's still more money than you started with, right? Granted, you're running the risk of going to jail and paying fines and potentially paying up to more than $25,000 for what you've done. So that's why it's not worth it. But like, and the other thing is too, like if you're stealing things that have value to them, you're most likely stealing graded cards, and graded cards have barcodes or QR codes, things that track them or that can be traceable to a certain person. So then we can find out, oh yeah, these things are stolen, you know? And so like the thing is, if you want to avoid that, you're going to have to crack them open. You crack them open, you ruin the value of those cards, potentially damaging those cards. So not only are you already losing money because you're taking a graded product to an ungraded product, then you run the risk of damaging a card that would now take your ungraded value and make it even less because the card is now damaged. So like, it's such a risky thing to do, and it's such a stupid thing to do. Like, why bother? But because the market is what it is today, like, people are evaluating the risk and saying to themselves, yeah, it's worth it. And that's just crazy, man. It's just crazy that we live in this timeline. Like that. I mean, there's so much more that's going on in the world, but like the Pokemon card aspect of it is insane. It's funny because when I got back into Pokemon cards, when Scarlet Violet 151 was coming out, I had no problems buying Elite Trainer boxes and products of 151 because it just wasn't as crazy. Like, people didn't have their eyes and ears out for it like they do now, because I guess it wasn't common knowledge that, oh yeah, you could score a bunch of money for this crap. And then, I mean, I've always heard, I haven't really researched into it, but then people said the sneakerheads got involved because they crashed the sneaker market, and now they're trying to pick up the Pokemon card market. And unfortunately, the Pokemon card market has been way more robust and able to withstand their debauchery, which is unfortunate, man. It just sucks. But like, because now I can't even get product. And well, like, I might be able to find one or two things. I got really lucky here recently, and I went to a Walgreens, and they happened to have a bunch of Pokemon tins. And so I picked up like 7 tins because I was like, there's no way I'm going to like miss out on this, and got some pretty sweet booster packs. Actually, they were 151 booster packs, so I was really excited by that. Like, yeah, I've already master setted my 151 set, but it's so much fun ripping 151. And if you follow me on TikTok, Bry-Fy Podcast, you'll see I've been trying to open them up like one a day, which is really hard to do, but I'm really trying to, you know, make this last. And I think I'm only going to do 4 weeks. So like Monday through Thursday, open a pack, and then, you know, enjoy my weekend, Friday through Saturday. But so yeah, that's what's been going on in the Pokemon world. So don't steal, guys. Just don't. The other thing, and this one's Pokemon related as well, but more Nintendo. The Nintendo company has been awarded after putting out a new patent on summoning and fighting mechanics in the US market, and that's insane to me. Basically, they put a patent out that only they can make things that involve summoning and then fighting with that summoning thing that they put out, which I mean is a clear attack on Power World, which has gotten a lot of a good following with it. I don't think it was ever going to beat Pokemon, because it's just Pokemon has such a chokehold on the pocket monster genre. But Power World was definitely one of the newest threats to Nintendo. I don't know if the Pokemon company itself thought it was an issue, but Nintendo definitely thought it was an issue. And so they decided to put in a patent for that. And a lot of people are upset by that. I get it. Like, and then like I've heard, like, I get it, man. Like, why prevent other companies from trying, right? Because we've all said Pokemon games need to up their quality, and because there's no competition, they have no reason to up their quality. People talk about how good Digimon is, but you don't see Digimon games topping the charts and really taking over the kids like Pokemon does. Like that's just the way it is, guys. I'm not. This is not a knock against Digimon or like Yu-Gi-Oh or any other of the big anime monster fighting games that are out there and shows that are out there. But let's face it, Pokemon is like the one, right? Pokemon is like the thing. It's got the world champions, it's got conventions, it's got things. Unfortunately, in my area, I have not seen like a Digimon Con or like Digicon or anything like that in my area. But I tell you, I see Pokecons and card conventions that have specific Pokemon like lettering or themes to get people excited. They're not using Yu-Gi-Oh! They're not using Digimon. So, like, let's be realistic here, right? So, I get Nintendo trying to protect their assets and trying to keep their stuff safe, but at the same time, like we talk about competition makes things better, right? And Power World seemed to be competition in the good sense. I don't think it was ever going to top Pokemon in any way, but you would think or you would hope that this would have been like a kick in Nintendo and the Pokemon company's rear to be like, okay, maybe we need to develop better games or add stuff to it. I will say, and I've said it before, I think the Legends series are a better product of Pokemon games than the main series. I still prefer Pokemon Legends Arceus over Scarlet and Violet, although Scarlet and Violet has more of my son's favorite Pokemon, so I've been playing that more recently than Arceus, or Arceus. I've always said Arceus. I don't know if it's Arceus or Arceus, or Arceus. I don't know. I'm bad at Pokemon, and I don't really watch the anime as much as I used to anymore, so I don't know how to say it properly. But yeah, there you go, guys. That is the Nifty Nerd News, or like the section of the Nifty Nerd News. The last bit that we're going to cover today, still kind of Nifty Nerd News, but it specifically revolves around today, September 12th, Nintendo Direct, which was on YouTube. You can go check it out. You can see everything that I'm going to kind of talk about and more, because I'm not going to talk about everything that they released. And there were some things that I was at first going to talk about in the Nifty Nerd News section, but because they're a part of the Nintendo Direct, I decided to save them for this part of the podcast. So we're almost done, guys. Just stick around for a little bit more. I got to get some water, man. My throat is getting dry. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
This is the Bry-Fy, baby. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around for the final part of the Bry-Fy podcast. Today we are talking about Nintendo Direct. There were some really cool things that were announced. A big thing, of course, is this is the 40th anniversary for the Super Mario Brothers game, and so there's a lot of celebration to be had. There's a lot of cool things that were announced during the Nintendo Direct that were Super Mario specific. In fact, there's a lot. There's even some new Pokemon stuff that I'm really excited about. So let's just get into it, man. So first bit of news that we got, celebrating 40 years Super Mario. Big announcements, non-video game wise, was they're opening up a third Super Nintendo World Park. There's one over in Japan, one in California, and now Orlando, Florida is getting one there. I believe it's going to be for like the Universal part. I think that's what they do all there. So now we're getting a third Super Nintendo World, which was really cool. And they also announced the new Super Mario Brothers movie, which is going to be Super Mario Galaxy, and that's coming out spring of 2026. Of course, it looks like the original cast from the first movie is all back for the second movie, which I thought they did a really good job. So I'm excited to see what happens with those characters. And now that we're getting into Super Mario Galaxy, we're going to hopefully see one of my favorite characters, who I didn't know was going to be one of my favorite characters until I started playing Super Mario Kart World. And when playing Mario Kart World, I really started liking the character of Rosalina. I digged her outfits, and she was kind of cool, kind of quirky. And so she's like my favorite person to race as when I play the game. And so now I'm really excited to see if she's going to be in the new movie. I would think so, because she's a big part of the Super Mario Galaxy games, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'm really excited to see how that plays out. And for Super Nintendo World coming in Orlando, it's supposed to be open in 2026 as well. Moving on to the video game stuff, they did announce a lot of new video games, some non-Nintendo stuff coming to Nintendo Switch, but I really want to focus on some of my favorite things. One of the big ones was Mortal Kombat, the collection, and it looks like it's going to collect a lot of the older Mortal Kombat games and put them on Switch and Switch 2. What's interesting and kind of weird is they're doing like a dual release of digital and physical, where digital is going to come out early, October 30th, and physical games won't come out until December 12th, like 2 weeks apart. So kind of interesting. Different, definitely, getting the digitals out before the physicals. But I know maybe this could be a thing. Maybe they're trying to push more digital sales, or like push people to move to a more digital route than a physical route. Who knows? What's also cool about Mortal Kombat, the collection, is included with it, along with the games, there's going to be a documentary focusing around, I guess, the making of a lot of these games and things like that. So pretty cool stuff. One of my favorite past Mario games that is making a comeback in a new game is Mario Tennis Fever. Why is it called Fever, though? So they're adding a new kind of game, not game, well, I guess game mechanic is the fever mechanic, where you can now have fever shots that depend on what type of fever racket you use. So certain rackets you build, I guess, essentially star power, and then whenever you fulfill that bar, then you get to use, like, whether it's mushrooms or fire things or like whatever it is, you're gonna be able to use those. So like an attack of some sort, which is kind of cool. Also, what's going to be really neat is, because we have Joy-Cons and we can use them for motion controls, they're bringing a swing mode to Mario Tennis Fever, where you can now use the Joy-Con, much like the Wii, as your, as a tennis racket. And so that'd be cool. Are they going to make tennis racket things to put your Joy-Con in, like they did with the Wii? They made like little toy tennis rackets to really like immerse you into it. I don't know. They didn't announce anything like that. I think they know people are probably not going to really buy those things, but who knows? Maybe they will, because we'll talk about it in a little bit. There's something else that they announced, a physical thing that they are hoping people are going to buy. But another thing with Mario Tennis Fever is they are adding a interesting story mode where you're playing like as the baby characters. You were turned into babies and you lost all your powers, and now you got to play through, a story mode to try to get your powers back. So kind of interesting, man. Adding a not necessarily career mode, but a story mode to a tennis game. So it'd be kind of cool. Another game that they added was called the Mi Tomodachi Life game. And so it's going to revolve around Mi characters. And I got to be honest, as I was watching the trailer and gameplay for Tomodachi Life, it really just looks like Mi Sims. Like, if you've ever played the Sims game, it's essentially that, but with now like Nintendo Mi characters, and you can create characters and everything like that. So it's honestly like they looked at the Sims, said, well, they didn't put a patent on their shit, so we're gonna make one. And so they're making it. I wasn't a huge fan of the Sims, but I think people who are, this could be like the thing. Is there Sims on the Switch? I don't even know if they have Sims for the Switch, but like this could be Nintendo's answer now. Moving on, so they announced the new Hyrule Warriors game, Age of Imprisonment, and I'm actually pretty curious about this one, man. I haven't really played any of the Hyrule Warrior games. After watching this one, I'm kind of thinking of going back, and if not buying the games, at least looking them up on YouTube and seeing like the stories and stuff and how they tie into the mainline games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. This one looks like it's taking place within the story of Tears of the Kingdom, but also taking place back in time where, spoilers, Princess Zelda gets sent to in this that story. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Another game that they announced was Metroid Prime number 4 called Beyond, which looks like a really cool Metroid RPG style game. We get to see Samus ride a badass motorcycle, like almost like a Tron bike kind of, but not really. Maybe more like Akira bike. I'm surprised they didn't do the Akira slide because that would have been badass. But we watched as she traveled like through from an open world to like a mission area. So I'm pretty interested to see what that's like. Is it going to be like Metroid Borderlands type stuff? Like, of course, not with all the guns and things, because I guess Samus, only has so much at her disposal. But I'm interested. Like, I'm into it, man. I'm waiting to see what happens. That was kind of it from the things, just Nintendo wise. Honestly, we'll talk about some Pokemon stuff here in a bit. But one thing that I did notice, lots of local split screen and game share games. So, of course, split screen, we know what that is. Everyone can share a console, play it on TV. You're on one half, I'm on the other. We play a game, and even like 4-person split screen, which look really cool. But the game share stuff, man, getting to see that going like full steam ahead with, where as long as like one person has a copy of the game, they can share it to some games up to 4 total, 3 other Nintendo Switches who don't have the game. So like basically I can buy a game and I have 2 Switches, one for me, one for my son. And with just one game, me and him can both play the same game, which is really awesome, really cool. But like you're playing multiplayer. It's not like, oh, he gets to play his single player version while I play my single player. No, we're playing multiplayer together. So it's like cool split screen pretty much. So that's pretty cool, and it's cool to see that they're making they're making multiplayer exciting again, or at least like gaming together fun and exciting, and allowing you to do it in new and special ways. So I'm excited for that as far as Nintendo's concerned. One of the things they announced, and this was the physical thing that I alluded to, they're with the Nintendo expansion, online and plus expansion, you get access to basically Nintendo created emulators where you can play old Nintendo games all the way from like the regular Nintendo Game Boy all the way up to now where I think we're with the GameCube. Now I was playing Super Mario Strikers recently, which was a lot of fun because I never got to play that game. I didn't have a GameCube, and so I've been really having fun with that. But now they're bringing the Virtual Boy to the emulators, and with it you can now buy your own actual Virtual Boy headset, which they used to have in the past. It's going to work a little differently though, because now it's essentially just a plastic shell, and you take the Switch console and put it in the front. So kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw when what was it, like the cell phone 3D videos were a big thing. They were making like little over eye holders for your phone, so you could just like, it was like having a VR headset, but it was just your phone. And so like that's what Nintendo's doing with the Switch, which I think will be kind of cool, pretty interesting. Really scared how much that's going to cost, but if you are worried about the cost like me, do not fret, because Nintendo did also announce they are going to make a cardboard version of the Virtual Boy that you can also buy, or hopefully they just give you instructions on how to make your own, which I'm hoping people will do, because I have a box cutter and a bunch of cardboard. I can do that. But it should be fun. And because like you have the Joy-Cons, right? So why not? Like, it makes so much sense. Like this is probably one of the smartest things Nintendo has ever thought of, and I just realized it right now, because like you have the metaverse thing, or like whatever the hell all the VR headset stuffs are, and Nintendo just sat there and thought, yeah, you like, remember when phones did like the 3D thing and you just put it like real close to your face and your eyes would adjust? Why aren't we doing that with the Switch, man? And like now we can get into it, because we have the Joy-Cons. They work just like the VR headset Joy-Con things that they have. Like, it honestly, it makes perfect sense, which is scary how well that works. And now they have like the camera thing that you can buy, so maybe that could be the way that you can kind of see where you are in the space without hurting yourself. Like, I don't know, I'm excited to see what they can do, like what the virtual boy is going to bring, and then what could come of the virtual boy headset, and what new games we could get into, because this could be pretty cool, man. Because I mean, like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, if this works really well, why isn't Nintendo now getting into the virtual world? Because you've just literally just like redesign your Switch to be a friggin' headset. Like, crazy, right? It's crazy. I just realized that, and I'm sure Nintendo came to that same epiphany. The last bit of stuff that I was going to talk about, of course, Pokemon brought up some new news with Pokemon Legends Z to A. They released some new Mega Evolutions. We've had Dragonite. Now they have 3 of the starters. Greninja gets a Mega Evolution. Chespin's guy, I forget what his 3rd evolution's called, he gets one. And then is it Finnegan's 3rd evolution? I don't know what they are. I only know Froakie and Greninja. Well, I don't know what the middle one is. Frogladier, I don't know. But those 3 stars are getting Mega Evolutions. Malamar, I think is it. It's like a weird squid Pokemon. He's getting a Mega Evolution. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of different Mega Evolutions in this game. Pretty excited to see. Like I said, the Legends games have been really fun, and so I'm excited to see what Pokemon Z to A has to offer. They did already announce that there's going to be DLC with Pokemon Z to A. I don't know how I feel about that because the game's not out yet. But to sweeten it a little bit and make it hurt a little less, they showed that there's going to be now a Raichu Mega Evolution, and it's going to have an X and Y variant to it. And the X one's kind of like a Raichu with 2 tails and bigger ears, and the Y version of it looks like it's Pikachu, or like more Pikachu-ish, and then with like a badass tail type thing. So yeah, I'm in. F. But one of the last things that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company announced, and this is the thing that I'll leave it on because it's unfortunately the thing I'm most excited about. I can't believe I am. It is a new Pokemon game called Pokemon Pokopia, and it's literally Pokemon Animal Crossing. It is Animal Crossing with a Pokemon skin. I think, of course, the way your character interacts with the world and is able to change it is a bit differently because the main character, you play as the main character, which is a Ditto, which turns itself into a person. I guess it's human trainer, and then goes around an island that it has been marooned on, meeting new Pokemon, learning new tricks to help it build and make things and craft the world around it. But as you're doing that, you collect materials for crafting, much like Animal Crossing. You can make gardens and vegetables and build things, much like Animal Crossing. You can make houses for Pokemon that will come and visit you, much like Animal Crossing. Although they don't look like Animal Crossing characters, they look like actual Pokemon and their sprites. So, I mean, this is kind of what I've wanted. Like, I've wanted to see Pokemon in Animal Crossing, and then the Pokemon company just said, hold my beer, and made Pokemon Animal Crossing, not Pokemon in Animal Crossing, which I think that'd be a lot cuter because, like, personified versions of Pokemon is really adorable because, like, all the Animal Crossing characters are adorable, but now being, like, Pokemon Animal Crossing, like, that's kind of cool and kind of cute too. Like, I can't deny I'm pretty excited about this game. I can't wait to see what Pokemon make it to the island and what you can do with them, how you can interact. One of my favorite parts of this, one thing that they show gameplay wise, is when Ditto, or your character who's a Ditto but is a human or looks like a human, kind of like in the Detective Pikachu movie, kind of creepy. But, and like the character has creepy long arms, but it's really funny because at one point there's a way to, like in Animal Crossing, you can craft the island, change the island. You can make mountains or take them away. So there's a way to take away mountains in this game, but you use it with a Pokemon attack, which is Hitmonchan. And the way your character looks using Hitmonchan's, I guess, mega punches. I don't know what it's doing. It's just going ham on some freaking dirt, and it looks hilarious. And you guys have to go to YouTube to see this because I think it's amazing. And so this is the game I'm excited for. It's coming out sometime next year, I believe. Or actually, I don't even think they put a release date when they announced it. So I'm not sure. Hopefully it comes out soon or next year. Based on the trailer, it looked ready to go. So I want it. I never thought I would I was like, I can't, you say it's a ripoff, right? But Nintendo owns Animal Crossing and Pokemon. So it only makes sense that they would do something like this, right? But at the same time, you're like, it's just Animal Crossing with Pokemon. But at the same time, I'm like, it's Animal Crossing with Pokemon. Well, Pokemon Animal Crossing. So it's amazing. But I'm trying to be mad at it, but I can't because I love it so much. And honestly, it's the game I want to play the most that's coming out, and that's been announced from the Nintendo Direct. But guys, that's all that I have for y'all this week. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If not, let me know. And if you did, let me know. You can always contact me on all my social medias. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Threads. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. And I think that's kind of it. Snapchat, I think. I'm on all kinds of things. Just search at Bry-Fy Podcast. That's Bryfy Podcast. Heck, I'm even on Xbox and stuff too. You can always find me. You can also find me on YouTube, where I do all kinds of things other than posting the audio episodes on a video format when I don't use video at all. So you're just staring at a blank screen while I'm talking. But also on YouTube, I do card openings. I do video game highlights. I haven't done a video game highlight in a long time because I haven't really streamed a video game in a long time. I need to change that. But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with that and just really doing things, man. So reach out to me. Tell me what I should talk about. But without anything else to talk about, that's it, man. We'll see you guys hopefully sometime next week. I don't know. I got an outage coming up, which means I'm going to have a lot of work on my plate and not a lot of free time. So we'll see what happens. October is spooky season, so I usually like to do something along those lines. I do have a thought in my brain, so I may be attempting to do something for the podcast next month, but we'll see if I actually have the willpower to accomplish those things and have it released for you guys in the following month. But we'll see. Anyway, that's all that I got for you guys. We will talk to you next time. Bry-Fy out.